Good morning students. I welcome you all for this first year BSc group of life science, that is CBZ group. At the outset, I would like to say a few of the conditions which you should follow and the ethics which you should follow pertaining to our CBZ group is concerned. So now that this group is being formed for sending the academic activities to your group, you should not quit the group, and whenever we send you the class either in the form of presentation or in the form of PDF or anything, you are supposed to download the PDF and go through the directions given in the PDF file which is sent to you. And whenever we send you the video of any topic which is explained to you all, you should just listen to the video and audio which is sent to you, and if you have any doubts, you are most welcome to get your doubts clear in contact classes as per the schedule given to you in the group. Now to begin with, the first year BSc CBZ syllabus, as you all know, that is CBCS syllabus, that is credit based choice based credit system. So according to CBCS syllabus, the syllabus of yours pertaining to botany subject is of 60 hours, and in this 60 hour syllabus you are supposed to study some of the things related to the different groups of the living things as well as the prehistoric organisms which were existing during the prehistoric period. For the sake of convenience, we have classified all the organisms into different groups such as prions, viroids, viruses, and from viruses we have classified the organisms into 5 kingdoms. Those are kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Mycota or Fungia, and kingdom Metaphyta. The 5th kingdom is related to kingdom Animalia, that you are going to study in Department of Zoology. Now let me just introduce to you all what are these prions, viroids and viruses. Prions are defined as the infectious proteins. They are not true organisms, instead they are just the chemical substances which behave like living things. Only in presence of host, only when they are infected into the host, they behave like organisms. Such infectious proteins are called as prions. On the other hand, we have other group of chemical substances which behave like viruses. They are called as viroids, and viroids are defined as infectious nucleic acids. If the nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, behaves like a pathogenic substance or pathogenic organism in the host organism, those nucleic acids which are pathogenic, they are grouped under viroids. Coming to viruses, these are defined as the living entities or living chemicals, and these viruses are made up of 2 things chemically. One is the protein coat, which will be always present externally, and within this protein there will be a nucleic acid present in the viruses. As you all are aware of, there are 2 types of nucleic acids. Those are the DNA and RNA. One of the interesting character represented by the virus is viruses, all viruses irrespective of the type of the virus have a protein coat which will be coating one of the nucleic acids, either DNA or RNA, never both the type of nucleic acids. And it is depending upon this only, the viruses are being classified into 2 types based upon what is the nucleic acid present, such as the DNA virus and RNA virus. The viruses which have DNA as a nucleic acid, those viruses are called as DNA viruses. The viruses which have RNA as a nucleic acid are called as RNA viruses. So this is the classification of the viruses based upon the type of nucleic acid present in the viruses. Depending upon the host on which these viruses live upon, we have classified the viruses into zoophages, into phytophages, into bacteriophages, etc. etc. The viruses which infect only plants and cause danger to the plants and cause infection to the plants, those are called as phytophages. The viruses which infect animals and kill the animals or disturb the animals, those viruses are called as animal viruses or zoophages. The viruses which infect only bacteria and kill the bacteria, they are called as bacteriophages. For example, T4 bacteriophage is a bacteriophage. That means it is a virus which infects only the viruses. Another interesting character of viruses is viruses are host specific. The plant viruses do not infect animals, whereas animal viruses will not infect the plants. They are very host specific. However, a detailed account of these viruses, their structure, their behavior and their pathogenicity caused by these viruses will be told to you in the specific unit which is there in your syllabus. Now coming to the 5 kingdom classification which is being mentioned by Whittaker. Whittaker has given 5 kingdom classification for true organisms. So these are not true organisms. From Monera, we have classified the things as true organisms because they exhibit all living characteristic features. Whereas these viruses do not exhibit all the living characters. They exhibit both living and non-living characteristics. The organisms, the living things which exhibit true living characters, they are the true organisms, or they are called as the organism, living things. And all living things are being classified into 5 kingdoms. Those are kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungia or Mycota, kingdom Metaphyta. Kingdom Monera comprises bacteria, and these bacteria are also controversial organisms. They are the link between plants and animals because they exhibit the characteristics of both plants and animals. However, the details related to the bacteria, the animal characters of bacteria and plant characters of bacteria will be told to you in that specific class. Protista, these are multicellular organisms which are controversial again, which behave like both plants as well as animals. They may be colonial or they may be solitary. So under this Protista, lower plants and lower animals will be discussed. For example, Protozoa comes under Protista. Then Cyanobacteria, which are advanced to bacteria, they are grouped under Protista. Coming to Fungia, this Fungia is also called as Mycota technically. And this is the kingdom which comprises all about fungi. That means under this group we are going to study about all the fungi. What are fungi after all? Fungi are achlorophyllous plants. Achlorophyllous plants in the sense, these are the plants. When I say that they are achlorophyllous, they do not have chlorophyll pigment in them, they do not have chloroplast. So that means they may exhibit saprophytic nutrition or parasitic nutrition, never autotrophic nutrition. So when they are not exhibiting autotrophic nutrition, why are these being put as plants? Why are these called as achlorophyllous plants? Because they exhibit fructification during reproduction. Seasonal fructification is exhibited by fungi during their life cycle. That is why they are being assigned as plants, and they have cell wall. Definite cell wall is present in these fungi. Maybe unicellular or multicellular fungi, they have definite cell wall in them. That is why they are grouped under plants, but these plants are called as achlorophyllous plants. However, in this Fungia or Mycota, we have number of plants to study. according to your syllabus. I think so 4 to 5 plants have been discussed. Those will be discussed to you, and the introduction will be given to you in that specific class. So as today's class is an introductory class, we are not going deep into each and every part of the syllabus. Instead, I am very precise related to the entire syllabus is concerned. Coming to Metaphyta, this is called as kingdom Plantae, which is technically called as Metaphyta. Plants, you all know the characteristic features of plants. All plants are chlorophyllous, they are autotrophic in their nutrition, and they exhibit different plant characters. Those general characteristics will be mentioned to you. For the sake of convenience, we have classified the plants into two groups. Those are Cryptogamia and second is Phanerogamia. Cryptogamia, the meaning is non-flowering plants, whereas the meaning of Phanerogamia is flowering plants. That means all are plants. The difference between these group of plants is they produce a reproductive structure called as flower. They do not produce a reproductive structure called as flower, whereas these produce a reproductive structure which is called as flower. Depending upon the production of the flower, or they produce or no or not produce the flower, we have classified the plants into non-flowering plants and flowering plants. There are two groups of plants in Cryptogamia. Those are Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Bryophyta deals with bryophytes, whereas Pteridophyta groups with pteridophytes. So these are first group of plants to land on soil. These are first group of land plants. They are amphibious in the plant kingdom. Coming to Pteridophyta, these are advanced cryptogams. So however, in your first syllabus, you are going to study about bacteria, fungi, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, and some part of Phanerogamia. What do you mean by Phanerogamia? Phanerogamia is a group of plants where they produce a structure, reproductive structure called as flower. That means these are flowering plants. In this Phanerogamia, there are two groups. Those are Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. See, both are plants, but what is the difference between Gymnosperms and Angiosperms? These are naked seeded plants, these are hidden seeded plants. Both produce flowers, but these plants do not produce a structure called as fruit within which the seeds are present. Instead, they produce the seeds naked to the external atmosphere. That is why they are called as naked seeded plants. Whereas Angiosperms, they are commonly called as hidden seeded plants because the seeds are hidden inside a structure called as fruit. That means these are fruit producing plants. These are the plants which do not produce fruits. However, in first sem syllabus, you are going to study the viruses, different types of viruses, classification of viruses, and life cycle of some of the viruses as prescribed by your syllabus. You are going to study about the bacteria, you are going to study some of the cyanobacteria, you are going to study about Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, some plants in Bryophyta and some plants in Pteridophyta, and under Gymnosperms, I think you are going to study about two plants. The life cycle of two plants will be dealt to you related to Gymnospermae. Pertaining to Angiosperms and other things, in higher classes, that means in 3rd sem and 4th sem, you are going to study all about the Angiospermae is concerned. So with this, I conclude this introductory class. Stay tuned, stay home, stay happy, and if you have any doubts, come to the department and get your doubts clear in your contact classes as the schedule is been shown to you in the timetable. Thank you, good day.